WWE Crown Jewel is upon us, and it's quickly becoming one of the biggest events of the calendar year for WWE. And could we have some major returns, spoilers, and surprises on this Saturday show? Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of WWE. And of course, the biggest story right now in WWE is Crown Jewel, the upcoming premium live event taking place from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia on Saturday, November 5th. And there are plenty of stories heading into this one. What I wanted to do today for this video is something a little bit different. I wanted to break down some possible surprises, spoilers, returns, and some of the more juicy gossip and theories, pun intended, heading into this weekend's event. So I want to start off talking about the big story that broke earlier today, that being Jake Paul. Logan Paul has backup in the form of his family this coming Saturday in Riyadh. Logan Paul, as I mentioned, will have backup. Jake Paul was introduced at the WWE Crown Jewel press conference, confirming that he will be in the corner of his brother Logan Paul for his undisputed WWE Universal Championship bout against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel tomorrow night. Jake hyped up his brother and said he would defeat the tribal chief at Crown Jewel. Reigns and Heyman then countered by bringing out the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, and Solo Sikoa. The Usos are set to defend their undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against the Brawling Brutes, Ridge Holland and Butch at Crown Jewel as well. Of course, Jake Paul has been very busy and in the headlines as of late. He defeated MMA legend Anderson Silva by unanimous decision in a boxing bout on October 29. His involvement at Crown Jewel was heavily teased in the days leading up to the event, but it was officially confirmed today by Triple H, by Logan Paul at this press conference. The press conference then closed with Reigns and Logan getting face to face prior to their big championship bout tomorrow in Riyadh. So, given the fact that Jake Paul is in the corner of his brother, could we have some Jake Paul theories and surprises and spoilers at Riyadh at Crown Jewel tomorrow night at this big premium live event? Let's start off talking about this possible theory, and that is, could we see a situation, bear with me here, could we see a situation where the brother turns on the brother and Jake Paul costs Logan Paul the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Crown Jewel? It's WWE after all, and WWE loves to have the brothers facing off. Whether it is people like, the Hardy Boys, whether it's like the Dudley Boys, whether it's even with familial stuff at the moment, whether it's Dominic Mysterio turning on his father, Rey Mysterio. Families continue to fight throughout WWE history. The Undertaker and Kane, even though they weren't real brothers, they were kayfabe brothers. But my point being is that they say blood is thicker than water. That's not the case in WWE. And you have to look forward here. You have to look forward and consider Logan Paul is not, I don't think anyway. I mean, the internet would break if Logan Paul defeats Roman Reigns, given the fact that Roman Reigns has not lost a match. He has not been pinned since 2019, December of 2019. We're talking nearly 3 years since the tribal chief last had his shoulders pinned to the mat inside of a WWE ring. He's been the Universal Champion since August, late August, early September of 2020. He's been a world champion for well over 2 years at this point. He is not going to be defeated by a guy who will be competing in his third ever match inside of a pro wrestling ring. But could we see a situation where Logan Paul gets that one lucky shot? That's been the tease, hasn't it? That's been the promotion throughout all of this Crown Jewel hype and media spin by WWE. It's always been that Logan Paul could get one lucky shot. He's got this boxing background, and could we see a situation where Logan Paul does get the one lucky shot and seemingly he's done the impossible? He's done something which nobody thought he could do. He has Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, laying there in the middle of the ring, seemingly out for the count, and Roman Reigns is going to get pinned, and Logan Paul is going to do the impossible, and then the guy he thinks he can trust, the guy he believes has his back because he's his family, he's his younger brother, Jake Paul, being the heel that he is, decides to turn his back on his brother, which then sets up a future match between the two brothers inside of a WWE ring in the future at another big premium live event. Oh, that would be storytelling. That would not only be storytelling, that would be buzz on another level. It'd be so buzzworthy, it's so WWE, it's so sports entertaining, is it not? Now, I don't think it's going to happen. There's another scenario that I think is a bit more likely, but we have seen Roman Reigns' championship matches end in controversy. His last one he had at Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre, who, by the way, Logan Paul is no Drew McIntyre, but Drew McIntyre had Roman Reigns beat. He hit him with a Claymore. It looked just like that Drew McIntyre was going to be the one. He was going to be the guy to end Roman Reigns' legendary and historic undisputed Universal Championship reign. And then what happens? Solo Sikoa comes out from under the ring and pulls the referee out of the ring, again preventing Roman Reigns from dropping the championship. We've seen numerous instances where Roman Reigns needed help from Jimmy or Jey Uso. We've seen it time and time again from Paul Heyman, from various outside forces. We even saw when he defended the championship against Finn Balor at Extreme Rules last year, when Finn Balor was the demon, the top rope randomly broke. Sometimes even fate is on the side of the tribal chief. So we could see a situation tomorrow night at Crown Jewel whereby it looks like Logan Paul's got the match won and his brother does the ultimate deed of disrespect and betrayal, turns his back on Logan Paul and sets up a match inside of a WWE ring in the future. Anything's possible. It would appear the WWE, they're all in on the Paul family. Controversy or not, controversy be damned, they're all in on the social media spectacle that is the Paul family. They've seen what Logan Paul can bring to the table. They've seen the numbers and the buzz that Jake Paul gets, for better or for worse. Whatever your feelings are and opinions are on his boxing fights, spectacles, they do a lot of money. They do a lot of pay-per-view buys. They get a lot of people talking, good or indifferent or bad. And I think WWE, Triple H is a very smart businessman. He understands this is sports entertainment, and these two brothers are entertaining and polarizing figures that get people talking. And what would be more buzzworthy than the Paul brothers facing off, fighting each other inside of a WWE ring? That would be pretty special stuff. As I mentioned, not sure that will happen, but certainly is a possibility. So if that doesn't happen, if we don't see an instance of Jake Paul turning on Logan Paul, could we actually see the seeds being planted for the Paul brothers teaming up in WWE? Now, this is something I think is a real possibility, and this is something that I think the seeds will be planted tomorrow in Riyadh, and then will blossom at a future big premium live event, whether that's Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, or heck, even WrestleMania next year. That's a very real possibility. Could we have the seeds planted for Logan and Jake Paul to face off against the Usos for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships? We know, of course, as I mentioned, Jake Paul is going to be in the corner of his brother tomorrow night in Riyadh for Crown Jewel for his undisputed WWE Universal Championship match. But we also know the Bloodline is there. The Bloodline were at the press conference. They're set to defend their Tag Team Championships against the Brawling Brutes at Crown Jewel. Again, they're going to win that match. I don't think the Brawling Brutes are going to be the ones to dethrone the Usos, who are closing in on the record for the longest reigning WWE Tag Team Championship reign in history. And could we see a situation whereby, as I mentioned, Survivor Series is coming up, where we see the Bloodline of the Usos versus the Paul brothers? Possibly not, because of course at Survivor Series it's War Games, and the general feeling is we're going to get the Bloodline versus someone in a War Games match on the men's side of things, so maybe it's not going to be then, but certainly you could plant the seeds for the Usos versus the Paul brothers in the future. Again, WWE clearly is all in on the Paul brothers, and Logan Paul, this will be his third match inside of a WWE ring, and I think WWE would have seen the success of Jake Paul in his boxing fights, and again, the money that they generate, the buzz that they generate, and I'm sure as well, Jake Paul's probably seen the success of his brother inside of a WWE ring, seen the social media buzz that's come with that, the money that's come with that, and thought, I want to be in on that too. And that's a big-time match, a really big-time match that WWE could promote. So maybe we have an instance whereby tomorrow the seeds are planted, whether it's Jake Paul getting in the ring, standing alongside his brother and facing off against Jimmy and Jay, squaring off, and then coming out of Crown Jewel, whereby Logan Paul will not be the undisputed WWE Universal Champion because he's not going to win that match tomorrow. But we see a situation whereby the follow-up is, okay, maybe I came up a little bit short at Crown Jewel, and he can say it was because of the Usos. If this was a fair fight, I had that one lucky shot, and I had the match won. People can say I didn't, but I know in my heart of hearts, I had the match won, and I went toe-to-toe with the Tribal Chief, and arguably the greatest wrestler of this generation, the greatest champion of this generation, I went toe-to-toe with, and I could be standing here 3 matches into my WWE career, the undisputed Universal Champion, and I'm not because of the Usos. So I want to take the championships off them. If I can't take the championships away from Roman Reigns, I can take championships still away from the Bloodline. I can take the undisputed WWE tag team titles away from Jimmy and Jey Uso, but I need a tag team partner. And just in the same way, they look to their brothers to be their tag team partner. How about I look to my family to find my tag team partner? How about I look to my brother to be my tag team partner? And at the Royal Rumble, damn it, it's going to be the Paul brothers versus the Usos. And we are going to walk out the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Now, that could be a big-time match. And actually, that could be a match that the Paul brothers win. I know people would be furious. They say, I can't believe the Usos, they've been tag team champions for all this time. And the people that defeat them for the tag team titles are the Paul brothers? Really? Well, look, tag team wrestling needs a lot of rehabilitation in WWE. And quite frankly, not that it would main event a pay-per-view, but they could absolutely, if they wanted to, main event a pay-per-view with the Usos versus the Paul brothers, because that would sell, well, it's not pay-per-view buys anymore, but that would sell tickets. No doubt about it. So I think that's the most likely scenario. I think when it comes to the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match tomorrow, I think that obviously Roman Reigns wins. I think that the Usos get involved. I think Jake Paul gets involved. And I think the seeds will be planted for a WWE Tag Team Championship match between the Paul brothers and the Usos moving forward. Sticking, though, with that main event, could we see a Money in the Bank cash-in? Austin Theory, when is he going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase? Now, I said this before for Clash at the Castle, and I still think this can apply here. And maybe it works a little bit better because Logan Paul is the one facing Roman Reigns. But could we see a situation where Austin Theory cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase for one of the World Championships? We're looking at a situation where at some point, not only does Roman Reigns have to lose both championships, but he's got to lose at least one. The brands aren't happy. SmackDown's fine with Roman Reigns being their world champion. He's been their world champion for over 2 years. I say regularly, he appears on that show more often than not. He's got that part-time deal right now. But Monday Night Raw, since WrestleMania, has been without a world champion. And frankly, since Big E dropped the WWE Championship at day one, I guess Bobby Lashley, he won the championship at the Royal Rumble and was champion for 2 or 3 weeks. But since then, since Bobby Lashley, Monday Night Raw has not had a full-time WWE champion. And whilst things are going well in WWE at the moment, whilst people are enjoying the product, the Raw ratings, whilst they stayed relatively steady initially and actually had an uptick when Triple H first gained power in the company, right now they've dipped a little bit. Monday's Raw was watched by about 1.5 million people, and I think those at the USA Network, whilst they're enjoying the Triple H creative, they'd be saying, look, maybe we'd be a little bit higher if we had a WWE champion that was on the show every single week. I know Reigns, ironically, was on the show on Monday, but still, we need a regular champion. We need a storyline that's based around the WWE Championship. How can we get that? Well, we don't want Reigns to be pinned because WWE's saving up for that to be the right person. Well, you could have Austin Theory cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase for one of the championships, for the WWE Championship. You could say he's a Monday Night Raw superstar, therefore his Money in the Bank briefcase is only valid for the Raw World Championship, that being the WWE Championship. The issue then becomes, is Austin Theory ready right now to be the WWE Champion? And the answer is no. Really, ever since Triple H gained power, Austin Theory has done nothing but lose. It's very Vince McMahon booking. You remember the time where pretty much everyone used to win the Money in the Bank briefcase and just lose matches, and eventually they'd become the world champion, and by then people would go, I wonder why they aren't being, considered as a proper world champion. Well, because they've been losing for however many months. Maybe we could see a situation whereby Austin Theory attempts to cash in, makes the match a triple threat match, and Roman Reigns pins Austin Theory instead of Logan Paul. I don't know if they would necessarily want to protect Logan Paul that much. But I guess when you go into any pay-per-view, there's always a possibility that Austin Theory could cash in on the Money in the Bank contract. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I think WrestleVotes floated a theory recently, and I think it could be accurate. in that we could see Austin Theory be the first person to wait a full year. And it'd be a situation where he has to cash in at Money in the Bank next year. I think that's a really fun storyline. So I don't think Austin Theory will cash in tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. Now, we are having this 6-person tag team match. It's the OC versus the Judgment Day. But one of the biggest problems recently with the OC facing off against the Judgment Day has been Rhea Ripley. How do you neutralize Rhea Ripley? Well, perhaps we could see the OC neutralize Ripley by a WWE Hall of Famer. Could Beth Phoenix return to neutralize Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day versus the OC match tomorrow? Of course, this makes the most sense. At Extreme Rules, how did Edge lose his I Quit match against Finn Balor? He uttered the words I quit for the first time in his WWE Hall of Fame career because Rhea Ripley was standing over Edge's wife, WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix, with a chair. She was going to hit her with a concerto, and Edge, to try and protect his wife, said, no, I quit. And then the dastardly heel that Rhea Ripley is, she did it anyway. And we haven't seen Edge or Beth Phoenix since. Now, since then, the OC, as I mentioned, have been having their problems with Rhea Ripley. Every time Gallows and Anderson get involved in a match against one of the members of the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley punches them in the balls. We see low blows over and over and over again, and they've said on Raw a million times, we need to find someone to neutralize Rhea Ripley. Perhaps that person is a returning Beth Phoenix, who clearly has an issue with Rhea Ripley, and this could build to a match between the two at some point in the future, especially now that Rhea Ripley has been cleared to compete. But you could say, if Rhea Ripley is going to be facing off against Beth Phoenix, if Beth Phoenix is going to be returning, why not the husband and wife pairing, the WWE Hall of Fame husband and wife pairing of Beth Phoenix and Edge both return? Could we see a situation whereby the OC win their first match as a group, being back in WWE, by interference from Rhea Ripley's foes in Beth Phoenix and Edge? Again, we haven't seen them since Extreme Rules. It would make sense for them to return at a big event like Crown Jewel. The only difficult thing is with these returns or surprises is it's very difficult to keep them as a surprise because they have to do this big travel out there to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. But it would make a lot of sense with Survivor Series being the next premium live event after Crown Jewel. We could be building to that mixed tag team match that we've been speculating about. It could be Edge and Beth Phoenix versus, let's say, Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. And then we spin off into Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley, say, at the Royal Rumble next year. That makes a lot of sense. So I think what we could see tomorrow is perhaps both the return of Beth Phoenix and Edge to cost the Judgment Day the match. They will then feud until Survivor Series, and we'll get that big match between the Judgment Day and the Hall of Fame husband and wife at Survivor Series in later November. I think that could be the way that they're going. Speaking of returns for the females on the WWE roster, could Charlotte Flair be about to return as well? Charlotte Flair reportedly has been set to return to WWE imminently. We haven't seen her since WrestleMania Backlash, where she lost the SmackDown Women's Championship to Ronda Rousey in that match, and she had her arm broken. In reality, what it actually was her having some time away to get married. She was married to AEW star Andrade El Idolo. Since then, we haven't seen her on WWE television, but in a recent interview, she said that if she did return, she had her eyes set on Bianca Belair. Of course, Belair is set to defend her Raw Women's Championship against Bayley in a last woman standing match tomorrow. And could we see a finish whereby the only reason the very protected champion in Bianca Belair isn't able to get to her feet before the count of 10 is because the return of the Queen prevents her from doing so? Keep an eye out for that one, because I think that could be a possibility. Finally, we've got the Monsters facing off tomorrow at Crown Jewel. We've got Omos faces Braun Strowman for the first time ever on WWE television, and this is being billed as King Kong versus Godzilla, the battle of the monsters, the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. That's the phrase, I think. That we're getting that build up as that tomorrow. And could we see the classic WWE spot where the ring implodes? I wouldn't put it past WWE. We have seen this happen several times throughout WWE history. We've seen this happen several times in Braun Strowman matches. Braun Strowman collapsed the ring against the Big Show on Monday Night Raw. He did the superplex, the ring broke. He did it with The Fiend at Payback. I believe this was in 2020, the night that Roman Reigns did win the won the Universal Championship that night. So certainly we could see that, and the way that they're building this up was, Braun Strowman's the monster of all monsters, and Omos is facing off against him. Certainly, I think we could see a situation where the ring breaks. So that's my that's my predictions for some spoilers, some possible returns, some possible surprises for Crown Jewel. Let me know your thoughts on the possible spoilers, returns, surprises at Crown Jewel. We will be doing a watch along and a live post show, so be sure to join us for that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.